So, imagine you're in a spaceship, that your job is to transfer items to another place, that apparently you've been hit by an asteroid, not by accident, but because the captain intentionally hit it. And then your captain is burnt to crisp, leaving us to a co pilot which he was not qualified to begin with. And apparently, one of your crew members were pregnant because the captain now assayed her. And turns out, he's the one who intentionally hit the asteroid. And apparently, the items that we have to transfer is mouthwash. That is the story of mouthwashing. So, how did it come to this? So, we started off with Curly. Curly is the captain of the spaceship toolbar. He's depicted as a competent and respected leader, striving to maintain crew morale amid rising tensions. His interactions reveal a compassionate side, especially when he wanna supports Anya, but apparently he sometimes did not listen. And his decision to offer Jimmy a position on the ship is oversight and judgment. His choice for picking Jimmy for the job is an act of solidarity for a friend, but that choice will be the death of him. Curly is the kind of person who looks the goodness in someone, but there's a few things in this world that you cannot be always in the gray area, and you have to choose. Perhaps Curly's intention on being in the gray area is because he wants a peace environment for the crew members, but that makes him an enabler. And as the captain, Curly fails Anya, to be honest. And he chose the wrong decisions all over and over again. Curly's action unconsciously shielding Jimmy, who's the perpetrator for the pregnancy on Anya. He didn't make Jimmy take the responsibility. As a captain, he didn't punish Jimmy for his behavior and kept shielding because he knows his friend. But Anya, on the other hand, she keeps asking for help. Anya didn't say outright that Jimmy asked her, but she dropped subtle hints for Curly to understand. But as I said, Curly is shielding his friend. I think another reason why Anya isn't outright with the essay is because probably she's scared of the reaction how Curly is gonna handle on Jimmy. Also, how Jimmy will react that if Curly knows about him essaying Anya. So at some point of the game, we found out that the cargo, which the items were saved, inside was a mouthwash. So what is the correlation between the mouthwash and the whole thing happening inside the mouthwashing? The thing that caught my eye is when Aya explains that the mouthwash was too sweet for clearing an infection. So it doesn't work as a disinfectant because it's not effective enough, and it's even have a 14% of ethanol, which is pretty high and dangerous for humans. And there's a problem with mouthwash that has a 14% ethanol, which it will kill us slowly from inside, which is why it's a perfect analogy for mouthwashing, because in the game, Curly chooses to ignore the problem. The problem is Jimmy, which we all know now that Jimmy is a manipulator. Jimmy said that he wants to fix things, which I think he meant that he want to fix things that how he wanted to play out. He want to be a hero. He have a savior complex. At some point of the game when he was faced with he has to take responsibility of his action when he's gonna go back to Earth, he chose to hit the asteroid. He chooses to endanger the lives of his crew members. This crash could be avoided if Curly makes Jimmy take the accountability and not dodging the problem just because Jimmy is his old pal. Many times Anya asked Curly to help her, like when Anya told Curly that Jimmy's been making like sexual jokes, even though Anya described it as Jimmy's not taking the report seriously, which is still kind of her framing Jimmy that way. And then when she had the monologue with Curly about the dead pixel, and then she then asked Curly why they didn't have any locks for the crew members. And it ended up with Anya telling Curly that she's pregnant. And still, Curly still choose that he want to talk to his friend. He want to resolve this, not punishing Jimmy for his action. I don't know why Curly chose to just talk, even though there's a lot of options like maybe locking Jimmy up in the cryostasis pod or just throw him out of the space. I don't know. But Curly chose to let the manipulator walk around. Besides the victim, besides the other crew, and mouthwashing, we learned that a manipulator doesn't stop at someone else. Even if it's their friend or someone they know, they would just do it the same way. Being a friend doesn't mean by ignoring the bad behavior of your other friend, but make them take accountability so that they can grow as a better person. The truly horror of mouthwashing is not the fight with the horses, but someone's who's not competent enough for the job is joining for the team, and it turns out he's not a good person. He's a person who don't want to take the responsibility for his bad behaviors. And then those actions is not as small as we think, because it's starting to eat the whole crew. Little by little, a bad choice from someone who is shielding his own friend also is the doom for the whole crew members.